Graduated high school. Now I can do whatever I want with my life. Welcome to McDonald's. What would you like to order? When you graduate high school, there are only a few choices you have on what to do next. So today, we're gonna talk about all those options. But here's the twist. I'm gonna call people I know from each of these categories that I went to high school with and see if they recommend going down the route they did or if they regret it. And at the end, we'll decide what the best thing to do after high school is. Starting off with the person who's got their whole life planned out already. This kid had straight A's in high school, would join every club that would make a college application look good. This is the kid who had their dream college picked out since they were 12 years old. Already knew their future major and what they were gonna do after college. And look, I respect planning that far ahead, because I cannot tell you what I'm doing tonight,
let alone what I'm doing with the next 4 years of my life.
But here's the thing about the college overachiever. The plan looks incredible on paper, but that's about it. Because fast forward to 2 months into freshman year of college, and suddenly you're $4 quintillion in debt, you hate the major you picked when you were 15 years old, and you can't stand your roommate. College is great if you actually know what you're going for, but don't make the mistake of going to college just because it's what you think you're supposed to do, because you'll just end up wasting a lot of money, or your parents' money. And I'm only saying this because I actually know a girl like this named Jessica, and she had her entire college experience mapped out since 7th grade. She knew the school she was going to, but when she actually got to college, about 4 months into freshman year, I ran into her at a gas station over winter break, and I asked her how it was going. I was expecting her to say that it was
amazing and that she was thriving.
But instead, she just stared at me for a solid 3 seconds and went,
"You don't want to know,"
and then walked away without saying goodbye. But that was 3 years ago. So let's call her now and see if she recommends the path she went down. Okay, it's been a couple days since I recorded the video, but Jessica said I could finally call her, so let's do it now and see what she says.
Hey Tyler, how's it going?
Hey Jessica, I'm good. How are you? Listen, I actually called you because I wanted to see how college has been for you the past couple of years.
I actually dropped out.
Really? Why?
I didn't really enjoy it.
Okay, well, what are you doing now?
Working at Chick-fil-A.
Nice. Do you enjoy that?
No, not really.
Okay, nice. Well, I just wanted to catch up. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, that's about it.
Talk with you later.
All right, bye, Jessica. Well, based off that call, it does not sound like Jessica made the right choice. So we're gonna put the college overachiever into B tier. Sorry, Jessica. But then you got the complete opposite of the school overachiever. You got the kid who skips college entirely and goes straight into the workforce. Construction job, warehouse job, retail job, it doesn't matter as long as a check is coming in every 2 weeks. Also, sorry for saying job so much. I did not realize how much I just said that word, and it makes me want to throw up. I promise it won't happen again. But anyways, at first, this type of person is balling, and everyone else who graduated and chose another route is super jealous. While the college overachiever is crying about having to eat ramen noodles for dinner every night because they can't afford food, this guy is making actual money, and he's still living at home. For about the first 6 months after high school, this looks like the smartest decision anyone in your entire grade made. No debt, no exams, just cash flowing in weekly while the rest of us are still figuring out life. You'll see him buy a new car that makes you go,
"How can someone my age afford that?"
Newsflash, they can't. They spent way more than they should have on that car. But then something happens around month 8 or 9 where you start noticing this guy looks a little more tired every single time you run into him. The energy starts draining out of them in a way that's honestly kind of alarming. They start talking about their job the exact way a 45-year-old talks about their job, except he's 19 years old and he should still be excited about life. He's already burnt out and has 60 years left to go before he can actually quit.
That's terrifying.
I know a guy, Arnold, who started working construction right out of graduation. And all this guy would do when he got that job is tell us how much more rich he was than everyone else. He's saying there's no reason to go to college, and he even bought a truck within 4 months of getting his job, which felt insane to the rest of us still riding around in our mom's minivans. But I still talk to him to this day, and I know for a fact that right now, he's fine with his job, but he's also very, very bored of it. The other thing about this guy is he moved out of his parents' house 3 months after graduating. But since he now has to pay rent, he has no money for anything else. So now he had to start working even more hours just to pay his bills. And he doesn't have any free time to do anything except work. Like, he literally has no social life anymore. So he basically chose short-term satisfaction over long-term. But let's call him and see what he has to say for himself. Okay, he didn't answer. Oh, he did just text me though saying, "I'm working right now, what do you want?" See, I told you, he has no free time. But I already know what he thinks of his choice since I still talk to him a lot. So I'm gonna put going straight to work after college into C tier. If you're doing it just because you didn't want to go to school anymore, it's probably not the best route, but if you actually know what you want to do and you're passionate about your job, I think this is great. But what if you don't know what you want to do after high school, but you do know you probably shouldn't spend a bunch of money going to college? Well, then you, my friend, are a part of the gap yearers. years. I don't think that's a word, but we're gonna run with it anyway. So there are two types of people who take gap years. The first, they take it because they literally have no idea what they want to do with their life. And the second, they just want to go experience life. They want to travel, experience different cultures, find love, eat great food. Oh, and they just don't want to have to do any work either, whether that be school or job. But the gap years are a very interesting group of people because after a couple months of traveling and exploring the world, you ask them what their plan is for the future and they hit you with,
I'm thinking Bali, maybe Thailand.
No, I meant, what do you want to do for a career?
We don't need to talk about that part, buddy.
Don't get me wrong, this person's life sounds awesome. Why not take a gap year, enjoy life for a year, and then just lock in for school or work the year after? Well, we're forgetting one thing, money. Traveling the world ain't free. Matter of fact, it ain't even cheap. So in reality, what actually happens with the gap year friend is they just spend a whole year doom scrolling. Their daily schedule is this: wake up, scroll for an hour, poop, then get out of bed, eat, scroll, maybe go to the gym, then scroll, then go to bed, and repeat for 365 days. And it may sound like I'm just grilling the gap year person right now, and it's because I am, but it's for a good reason. Because I know someone who took a gap year, and that was 5 years ago. But trust me, it was the worst decision they ever made. And I'll call them right now, and you'll see exactly why they made such a horrible mistake. Hey, Tyler, it's Tyler. How are you doing?
Hey Tyler, I'm good. How are you?
Listen, I just want to see how your gap year went.
To be honest, my gap year's going horrible. I have no friends, no girlfriend, no job, and I'm chopped. So yeah.
Fairs, me too, bro. Well, okay, it was nice catching up with you. I'll see you later.
All right, thanks, bro. By the way, oil up.
That's right. I was the person who took a gap year. That's why I'm talking about it like this.
And look how I turned out.
So beware, if you do take a gap year after high school,
You may end up like me.
now is that a good or bad thing?
Well, I'll let you guys decide in the comments, so let me know. Would you want to end up like me after high school?
Hey, editor, make me look tough in that.
But for a lot of these people after graduation, you know exactly how they'll end up. But there are some types of people that will absolutely shock you with how their life goes after high school. Because you'll go to school with a delinquent, like the type of kid in high school who you'd catch in detention every day. Someone you never expect to do anything mature after graduating. But then somehow, within about a year of graduating, you check Instagram one day and this man has a baby. It's like he skipped his entire 20s. No college, no partying, no getting your first job. Nah, he's just a full middle-aged man now. While the rest of us are starting to experience true freedom for the first time in our lives, this guy has been locked into having the least freedom a person can have. But the wild part about this person is they completely change as a person because they have no choice. Regardless of how irresponsible or childish they may have seemed when they were younger, they now act like a parent. You won't ever see anyone lock in as fast as these people. Whether they had that child on purpose or on accident, they lock in. Like there's a guy from my grade, Chris, who used to get sent to the office at least once a week for crazy behavior. Like one time during lunch, we were all in the cafeteria and this man put a bunch of pencils in the microwave just to see what would happen. And if you're curious, the pencils melted and it smelled really bad. That was about it. But Chris now has a wife and a 2-year-old. And the last time I talked to him, he was telling me about how he's baby-proofing his house and trying to find different foods for the baby that make its poop smell less bad. Sorry for the TMI. But he was completely straight-faced telling me this, acting like he didn't spend senior year eating erasers. Unfortunately, I don't have his number, so I can't call him for this video. But here's the thing. I asked him how he felt about having a kid at his age the last time I saw him. And he just shrugged and told me,
Honestly, it's the best thing that's ever happened to me.
then I said to him, wait, but the way you talk about it makes it sound like your life is miserable.
Oh, it is a lot of the time, but also, this is the first time I've ever felt purpose in my life.
When he said that, I almost shed a tear. Like, that was low-key kind of beautiful. I didn't know having a child would make him a philosopher too. But what really gets me is watching his social media now versus back then. His old posts, pure chaos, filled with stuff like videos of him jumping into the shelves filled with bouncy balls in Walmart. But his new post, it's just pictures of stuff like a nursery he painted himself, captions about date night that just mean him and his wife split a pizza after the baby went to sleep. It's like watching two completely different people, except it's the exact same person. They just fast forwarded through about 15 years of normal life progression in under 24 months. Now you may think I'd rank this in the lower tiers of people after high school, but to be honest, I think this is something we just couldn't understand unless we experienced it ourselves. So because of that, I'll put it in A tier. I just realized we still haven't had any type of person in S tier, but that is because I'm saving S tier for a very
Special type of person.
and once I tell you what this category of person is, you'll understand why no other path after high school.
Is as cool as that one.
But before we get to that category, I need to mention how while some people grow up super quick after high school, some people forget to grow up at all. And that's the tragic case of the super senior. The kid who peaked so hard in high school that he's mentally never actually left. You'll still see this guy at the high school football games.
Except now, he's 22 years old and he has
Zero connection to anyone currently playing.
Nobody knows why he's there, but nobody asks anymore.
They stopped asking 2 seasons ago.
He's just there. Same exact seat every single Friday night, cheering for kids he's never met a day in his his life.
Is it weird?
Yeah.
Does he have a good reason to be there though?
No. He'll bring up his senior year stats to literally anyone who makes eye contact with him for more than 2 seconds. He still wears his Letterman jacket, not ironically, but genuinely. If you could make high school 12 years, this man would be the first person to sign up. Because anytime you see him, all he'll want to talk about is high school, which to him was the
Good old days.
But anyways, everyone knows how addicted to my phone I am. But lately, I've started to feel like I'm wasting so much time on it. I'll be on my phone for hours and feel like I accomplished absolutely nothing. So I've been trying to think, how can I go on my phone while actually feeling like I'm doing something productive? Well, this is how I ended up using FreeCash. Because FreeCash is an app where you can earn rewards by completing things like game offers, surveys, and other tasks. I've mostly been playing Monopoly Go because if I'm already reaching for my phone anyway, I'd rather spend a few of those minutes doing something that actually gives me something back. It's just a smarter way to use time that I probably would have wasted anyway. There are thousands of offers to choose from, so I just picked the one that actually looked fun. And if you try it, make sure app tracking is enabled so your progress gets tracked properly. One thing that made me feel good about trying it was seeing how many people already use it. It has really strong Trustpilot reviews and solid App Store rankings. And once you reach the minimum cash out amount, withdrawing is super simple with options like PayPal, crypto, gift cards, and more. If you want to try it yourself, use my link or QR code because you'll get a $10 bonus after completing your first offer. I'll keep you guys updated on my earnings, and y'all should do the same with me. Now back to the video. There was a guy 2 years above me who we called Tiki, and he still shows up to every home game to this day. And if you're wondering how I know that, it's because I also still go to the games every week. Hey! No, I'm just kidding. I don't. The only reason I know that is because he literally posts on his Instagram stories pictures of himself at the game. The craziest part about Tiki is he's not even a little embarrassed about it. Most people would feel weird still showing up to games 4 years after graduating with zero connection to the current team, especially when it's nothing but a bunch of high schoolers there. But Tiki, well, he's fully committed. I'm giving this F tier, bro. Do not let this be you. But one time I swiped up on his story and said he should get a job with the football team since he loves going to the game so much, and he said,
I would, but I'm not allowed within 500 feet of the school.
now I don't know what he meant by that, although I'm not surprised. I would call Tiki for you guys, but I really don't want to call him.
Please don't make me call him.
But if you happen to go to my old high school's football games, you'll probably see Tiki there, but someone you won't see is the Ghost. The Ghost is the kid who graduates and then simply disappears off the face of the planet. No social media, no group chat presence. You used to see them every day of the week during the school year, but now you don't even know if they exist on this server we call Earth anymore. Like, for all we know, they could be on Mars. Seeing this person after high school is like seeing a girl that likes you back. It doesn't happen, at least in my experience. There was a kid in my grade, Anthony, who I sat next to for 3 years straight in different classes. And we were school friends. Like, you know, the type you'll hang out in school and talk all the time, but after school, you don't really communicate with each other. But on graduation day, I was always like,
Hey Anthony, let's keep up over social media.
but that was impossible because literally the day after we graduated, he was gone. He used to have social media pages that he never posted on, but those were all now deleted. The group chat he was in with some other people from our classes, he left. I even tried calling his number, but it went straight to voicemail as if he just didn't have a phone anymore. Now, obviously, I couldn't contact Anthony himself, but I did run into his cousin a year after graduating, and I asked what happened to him. But even his own cousin just shrugged and went,
To be honest, I don't know. I haven't seen him in like 6 months.
his actual blood relative didn't even know where he was at. Seriously, have we considered he might actually be on Mars? But it's wild because Anthony was really well liked in school. So a lot of us would try figuring out what happened to him. But no matter who we asked, no matter what research we did, there is no trace of Anthony at all. Like still to this day. Anthony, I hope you're doing well, brother. Oh, by the way, I'm not looking up because I think he may have passed away or anything. I really think he might be on Mars. I'm guessing Mars is that direction, right? To be honest, who cares? Anthony, wherever you are, I hope you're doing well. I give Anthony a C tier because I can't truly rank this category since I have no idea what actually happened to him. Then there's the kid who takes the most real world path out of anyone on this entire list. The one who enlists in the military. This can be a kid that you didn't expect it from at all. You had no idea they were going to the military. Or maybe you absolutely knew they were going. It's always one or the other. Like for some of the kids, they'll be the type to argue with a teacher about a hall pass. But then a few months later, they're posting boot camp photos looking like a completely different human being. Their jaw is suddenly sharper, posture suddenly correct for the first time, and they're also bald, like very bald. And it's a weird one to process because while the rest of us are stressing over what college we're trying to get into or what job we're looking at, this person is out here playing Call of Duty in real life. I've got a friend, Taekwon, who genuinely could not sit still in class for more than 4 minutes without getting in trouble. Like teachers used to physically move his seat away from everyone else just to reduce chaos. But the first time I saw Taekwon after graduating high school, this man looked like a completely different human being. And what I mean by different is I saw him about a year after graduating and I said,
Dang, bro, you're looking jacked. Did you become a bodybuilder or something?
and he goes,
No, I became a Navy SEAL.
so if you want to get jacked and gain some discipline in your life, maybe this is the route to go. Just don't get like hurt. And if you do fit into this category, category, thank you for your service. You know what? Actually, standing ovation for you. Now, right now, Taekwon is somewhere in Europe serving for the Navy still, so I can't contact him, but I know he loves it. I'd rate this a D tier for me personally because I'm a wimp. I would not fit in the military. I used to say I wanted to join the Navy growing up until the first time I saw a video of the training they have to do underwater. And then I said,
Absolutely not.
I don't rock with the ocean like that. I am not a fish. But no matter what type of person you become after high school, the one thing that is certain is that,
You will change.
I mean, unless you're the dude that still goes to the football games, don't be him. But for everyone else, don't be him. But for everyone else, you'll change. And change is good most of the time. Because I had a friend named Brady who failed 2 classes senior year because he'd spend every class just playing Clash of Clans. Like he had a severe, real addiction. Somehow he still graduated. Don't ask how, I don't know. Last month, I'm driving down my street and I see a truck that says Braden's last name and then the word landscaping. So I'm thinking, ain't no way. So I called a number on the truck and who answers? Braden. So I ask him if this is his business and he says,
Yes.
This was the last man I would have expected to start a business after high school, and it was landscaping. To be honest, I don't even know what landscaping is, but it sounds impressive. Sometimes though, people switch up the other way after graduating. They were the golden child throughout their younger years. Thought they had it all figured out on paper. And when I talk about this person, one girl in my math class comes to mind. Her name was Madison, and Madison was our school's valedictorian. She was the only person from my school I knew that was going to an Ivy League college. But that didn't last long because she got expelled from college for, well, I don't think I can say on this video, but let's just say it was very inappropriate. Y'all can guess in the comments what she did, and I'll tell you whether you're close or not. But what's funny is that both of these people, Braden and Madison, were basically inverse images of each other in high school. Braden was written off completely, while Madison was held up as the perfect model student. And now just a few years later, they've essentially swapped places entirely. If you'd shown either of their current lives to a teacher back in 11th grade and asked them to guess which kid it belonged to, I guarantee you they would have thought Madison had her own business and Braden was the one getting kicked out of college. This just shows school doesn't matter at all.
Don't show up to class, drop out tomorrow, don't study for tests. Who cares?
I'm just kidding, guys. Don't do that.
But if you do, don't blame it on me, okay? Seriously. Obviously, I give Madison F tier because that doesn't sound fun. But Braden, I give A tier. Good job, Braden. I'm proud of you. I don't have Braden's number, so I DM'd him on Instagram, and this is what he said. And for Madison, I'm not gonna ask her how it's going after high school because I don't think she would be happy. But of course, you can't talk about the people after high school without mentioning the aspiring influencer. The kid who decided sometime around junior year that their calling in life was to be famous on the internet. And this person didn't want to just slowly build their pages over time. No, they wanted to do it immediately. So the second that diploma hit their hand, they were gone. Now I know y'all are gonna think I'd talk about myself for this section, but I already put myself into a different category. So I can't be in 2, that's cheating. And plus, I didn't become an influencer right out of high school. It happened like 2 years after. Also, I think the word influencer is kind of dumb.
What am I influencing? I'm not influencing anything.
But luckily, there was a girl at my school who did take this exact path, Brianna. Now, if you ever met Brianna, you would not be surprised at all that she wanted to be an influencer. She loved being the center of attention, the star of the show, which is kind of funny because I'm an influencer now and I hate being the center of attention. I mean, the only reason I ever started making content in the first place was because I didn't want to work a real job. I do love it now though. But Brianna spent the entire summer after graduation posting Get Ready With Me videos to an audience that topped out around 200 to 300 people, most of which were people from our school. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to make it sound like I'm hating on her. It's cool to make content. Everyone should do it if they want to. But the frustrating part was that the moment Brianna hit 10K followers, she switched up on everyone and moved to New York City. She unfollowed me, a bunch of other people we went to school with, and acted like she never knew us. And hey, that's fine, girl. Like, you do you. 10K is a lot of followers. But I remember when I had that amount of followers, I was probably making less than someone working at McDonald's does. So I don't know how she afforded her life. Oh wait, yeah I do. She has rich parents. And once again, I would call her and see how it's going, but like I said, she unfollowed me on everything once she hit 10K, so I have no way of contacting her. If you're wondering how many followers she has now, it's about 25K. You all can do your research and try to find her at if you really care about it. But I'm gonna have to give this category an F tier and an S tier. It just depends how good it works out for you. If you get a bunch of followers, make money, and enjoy what you're doing, congratulations, you made it. It's time to retire your parents, switch up on your day ones, and finally book that Japan trip. But if you tried posting for years and none of your videos ever get any views, you have to finally accept that it's time to get a real
Job.
Psych! Never get a real job. If you want to become an influencer, but it doesn't work out in the beginning, who cares? Just keep trying and trying and trying until eventually it will happen. happen. Anyways, here are a few other types of people I think are worth mentioning, even if I don't think they're quite as common as the other ones we've talked about. The one who joined a pyramid scheme. They also didn't want to go down the normal college route, so they'll pop up on your Instagram feed 10 months after graduating, and they're suddenly selling supplements or telling you to buy their course. You'll get a message from them out of nowhere for the first time in 2 years just to ask if you've ever thought about making extra money from your phone. No, Kayla, I have not, and I will not be considering it now either. The wildest part is watching them try to disguise the pitch as a genuine catch-up conversation, because they'll start out with asking how you've been, asking how your family is, before smoothly transitioning into,
So, would you like to buy this lactose-free milk from us?
and the moment you say no thank you, they block you or never text you again. Not even joking either. Unfortunately, one time, this girl I used to like during high school messaged me about a